Gentlemen, we're in the privilege of Willie Monroe Jr. with us. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. And yourself?
Not bad, not bad. I really like that shirt.
Oh, thank you, man. That's my favorite rapper, man.
Rest in peace to Nipsey, man.
Yeah, my wife made this for me.
I got you. Okay, so let's get into it.
Dope.
So, growing up, you are the son of a fighter yourself, and your uncle was also a fighter, and he beat the marvelous Marvin Hagler. Am I correct about that?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
did you ever feel like you had a target on your back, or that you were in their shadow coming up in the game? What did you think about that?
Oh, nah, I never felt like I had a target on my back or was in anyone's shadow. It was just a family tradition, like everybody in the family fights, even the girls, so it's just a family tradition. And I ended up being named after my father, who was named after his uncle, because my grandfather, who taught my uncle how to fight, he named his firstborn son after his brother. So so we all three have the same name, but it wasn't really a target or pressure, man. It was just fun, pretty much. Really, it's just fun.
Because a lot of times, children of top level athletes, they don't pan out the same way. But you've had a great career so far.
Yeah, blessed. It seems like we get better as we go, and that's a blessing, and I have their wisdom and their knowledge. Rest in peace to my uncle. He passed away last year, but yeah, like I have their knowledge. I have their wisdom, and it looks like we get better as we go. So that's the blessing.
For sure, I agree. So back in 2014, when you won the Boxino Middleweight tournament, that really put you on the scene as a top 160 pounder in the division.
Right.
Then not long after that, you get the phone call to take on Triple G, who was the boogeyman at the time. What are you thinking when you get that phone call?
Do or die. It's just I understood that opportunities like that don't come, for every fighter. And I also understood that I wasn't in a position to be on some old, it was almost like beggars can't be choosers, and it was like, and where I'm from, those type of opportunities are very slim, if any. So, I said, I gotta sink or swim, you know what I mean? And I'm just one of those guys that's, I'm going to jump. If my parachute don't open, I'm gonna hit a few rocks, a few cliffs, and I'm gonna climb back to the mountaintop and jump again.
Yeah,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
think about everything I did wrong that made the fall go wrong on my way back up, and then I'm gonna leap again. So
Yeah. So,
I die.
sorry, go ahead, my bad.
I said I'll stop leaping when I die.
I got you. Okay, so in my opinion, you and Kell Brook really showed the rest of the field how to navigate fighting Triple G. Angles, movement, working off the jab, but not backing up too much, staying in the pocket and kind of working off the jab.
Right. Well, I found out, from the outside, you think you can outbox Triple G, and because his arms aren't that long, he's not particularly fast, but he has good timing. He's like Marquez. He has great timing. He's not particularly explosive and fast, but he has impeccable timing. And I found out after I couldn't move that he's uncomfortable with anyone who stands in the pocket and bangs, you know what I mean, in those short shots. So, if you're far away from him, you're safe. If you're very close up on him, you're safe. But at mid range, he's very dangerous.
You hit him with some shots that I was like, wow, how is he eating these shots? Some
Right.
violent up, but it is what it is. So then, sorry, go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say, yeah, he has a what they call a granite chin. He has a good chin.
Yeah, definitely. So that brings us to the Billy Joe Saunders fight. You went across the pond to challenge for the world title.
Right.
Like went across the pond for that. Do you think that had anything to do with the judges' scorecards? Because in my opinion, that fight was a lot closer than it reflected in scorecards.
I mean, listen, I understood that if I didn't knock him out, I wasn't gonna get it. I understood that. I understood that this wasn't Eddie Hearn promotion, or this was, you know, Frank Warren. This was, these guys aren't the top of the heap when it comes to promoting, and they're going to do whatever they have to maintain holding that title. So I understood that if I didn't leave him on the canvas half dead, I wasn't going to leave, with the belt. But I wanted to try my luck, and I mean, you know, it was some scuffles that ensued, and I got punched in the nuts and kicked in the nuts, and you know, um, the racial stuff was pretty bad over there at that, back in 2017. I want to say at that time because it sounds like I'm talking back in the day, but we had to walk through some fire over there, and I'm just at the base of it all, of the disrespect, is major respect, because they understood that in order to beat this guy that came over here with 7 guys, we got to pull the whole gypsy community out. We got to pull the whole country out. We got to make sure everything, we got to knock on his door at 2 a.m. We got to disturb his workouts. You know what I mean? We have to be at his face and calling him all kind of niggers and stuff at the weigh-ins. And, I get kicked and punched in my nuts and all of this. And there's a round where I caught Billy Joe Saunders with a double jab, and I watched his head split. And I went back to the corner, and I told my corner, I said, we got him. He's cut. And the referee came to my corner and said, there's a cut from a headbutt. I said, oh, man. So it's like, just in case this fight is stopped on that cut, it won't be from a punch, but it was from a punch. If you watch the fight, our heads never came close together. We were like counter punching the whole time. There was never a spot in the fight where there could have been a headbutt. So when that happened, and then they tried to fight my brother and 2 members of my team ringside, yeah, man. It was all of that. I say, look, they understood in order to inch out a win against this guy, we have to do all of that. We have to just, one girl from my city who was there as a student and her boyfriend, they got beat up really bad.
Man.
Right. So I say all of that to say, I went on a rant, but I'll say all of that to say it's major respect in the disrespect, because they understood that in order to get a win over this guy, we have to befuddle him so bad so we can have the upper hand that night, because there's no way we can beat this guy fair and square.
Right. So Billy Joe is known to do some questionable things. I didn't know anything about the racial slurs and what's going on. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. That's a tragedy.
I never really talked about it because you get a lot of backlash for bringing stuff like that up. They say you're complaining and stuff, so I never really talked about it.
Well, you know what? We're all here to air the truth, so I appreciate you being honest about it, man. You got to get that out there, especially with the atmosphere we're in right now, with everything going on. Get this out there.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
So just wanted to ask about the weigh-in there. What are you thinking when his son came up and gave you the low blow?
Well, at first I thought I didn't know where the kid came from. I didn't even know it was his son. I thought, because usually when you have big fights, they have 2 or 3 kids that come on stage and pose with the fighters and stuff. I've been part of events and stuff like that where after a weigh-in, we would pose with the kids. So I thought that's who the kid was. Next thing I know, I was getting punched in the nuts and kicked in the nuts by the kid. So, and then when I go back and look at the video, I can see where the security, I guess, tried to tell him to go back, and he sort of went around his dad and Frank Warren and went around the back, and they sort of made a little hole for him to come through. And I mean, it was planned. It was,
Yeah, I think it was too, right? So what do you think, Carlo?
What's that?
Sorry, I was just saying I agree with you.
I'm sorry, you keep going in and out really bad.
Is it coming in now? Is it good?
Okay. Only thing I heard was, is it good?
Okay. So what I said was, I agree with you. I do think that was the staged as well. I think Billy had something to do with that. But my next question is, how do you feel about the Charlo brothers?
They're doing their thing. God bless them.
I think that was a shame that fight got everything got messed up, because I was really excited for that. I think your style was going to give Jamal a whole lot of problems.
I mean, you saw that in court with Korobov. I mean, like a guy that they supposedly called on a 2-week notice, on a week notice, came in and gave him trouble like that. So what do you think of Willie Monroe would have did with a 9-week training camp? So I just I don't even like revisiting that topic, man, because like I found out the real about how this boxing thing is really ran when I ran into that thing, and it the shit make me sick to my stomach. You know what I mean? Because you grow up from a little kid, and you believe this, this crazy story about just keep working, and it's not crazy. It's definitely a truthful one, but they don't tell you all of the things you're going to experience on the way to getting to it. And some of the things you experience getting to it is so, chilling, man. It's so freaking spirit shaking. Like you start to question, are you in the right game? You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about some crazy, Illuminati stuff. I don't get me wrong. Like I'm not talking about that, but I'm just saying like the way the pieces in the game is set up. You know what I mean? Like for me, I'm put it like this: if I don't accomplish anything else in my career, I've accomplished more than enough when you look at how the landscape has been set up for a fighter like me. Mm-hmm. I've surpassed, anything that I should have done already when you look at the landscape and the way the game is truly set up for a fighter like me. So with that being said, I don't even care to like even revisit that. I don't have any type of like, respect or anything for them dudes. I don't have any animosity for them. I don't have any respect. I'm just like, I'm kind of disgusted even when they're like, just to know what I know. Like, I'm disgusted,
Yeah.
I'm a real fighter, man, from the inside out, man. And I'm disgusted. So screw the Charlo.
I hear your side of the story because all you hear is the PBC narrative and the Charlos spouting off a bunch of garbage. So I just wanted you to get that out there for everybody. So I didn't mean to bring up something that you don't want to talk about. My apologies.
Oh no, you know what? I think my disdain towards it lets people know, like, I just, because it got to the point to where people are like, even after the fight fell apart and everything, you know what I mean? He went and fought a fight. I fought another fight, called him out. He went and called out a junior middleweight. You know what I mean? Like, and like, never like, they never wanted to fight me. Like, bro, I've seen text messages, emails, like, bro, I don't want to go that crazy into it. I'm just glad it didn't happen. Let's say this. I'm glad I'm with Split T right now, man, because, and Ryan Recton, because, for my name to be mentioned next to Canelo is something great. And, God willing, and we're picked, it'll be worth the wait after what happened in November of 2018, or December 2018. It'll be worth the wait. Just for me, it'll be worth it. I'll look back and say, all right, God, I see what you did. Like that type of happiness,
Yeah. Yeah. So that brings me to my next point. Rumors have it that you are in the sweepstakes for the Canelo fight, which you just happened to bring up as well. So what weight is that? Are they trying to pull you up to 168? What are they trying to do?
Well, no, they're not trying to pull me up to 168. There was I was taken out of the middleweight division in hopes of keeping me away from Charlo. You know what I mean? Like I told you, I've seen what I've seen. I've heard what I've heard. And ended up running me right into Canelo because then I fought at 61, 62, and it put me in the super middleweight ratings. I'm not rated anywhere at middleweight. I'm rated at super middleweight.
Okay.
So, like, and trying to avoid Willie Monroe, you actually gave Willie Monroe an opportunity, When you look at how the universe works. So, I'm blessed. And I gotta say big thanks to Split T, big thanks to Ryan Recton for believing in all of these low times because it created a real deep high time. And I like to say it's a lot of people that are saying they're interested in fight and seeing me fight Canelo.
I like it. If you look at it stylistically, Canelo's had problems with southpaws and slick boxers.
And it's been a while since he's fought a southpaw. It's been a while since he's had to deal with the trickiness of a southpaw. You never know. This could be an exciting fight.
So how do you feel fighting at 162? Do you find it any different from 160 to 162?
Nah. It's not too much of a difference. I can eat a little bit more. I don't have to crazy dehydrate. I walk around at about 71, 73 anyway. So 68 that's easy. 54 I probably could still make, but I would definitely need a solid 9-week camp to get ready for a fight at 54.
So let's talk about the Canelo fight a little bit. How do you think you match up with him? I know you're southpaw, but break it down a little bit for
me. I just think skill for skill. I think me and Canelo are both counterpunchers, right? So counterpunchers are you have to be a very skillful fighter to be a successful counterpuncher, because what you do is based off of how you react to, the other guy's movement, the way the other guy is fighting. So mastering being a counterpuncher and being able to live off of that style and make that style, not only a definitive style, but a style that makes you difficult, that's a hard craft to master. You have to that takes years and years of almost getting caught, taking some hard shots and feeling it and knowing it, to be able to stand in front of a man and he can't hit you. Now, the reason why I think this would be exciting is because if you watch my last couple fights, I'm not really interested in moving a lot. I'm not interested in floating the ring. I'm 33. I'm not interested in floating the ring for 12 rounds and moving. And I'm liking mixing it up because of my hand speed. So with me being willing to come forward and still be a skillful counterpuncher, and Canelo being aggressive as he is, especially if he gets hit. If I catch Canelo with 1 or 2 good shots, he's going to want to get aggressive again. And this is going to be a very skillful, I think a fight between me and Canelo, excuse my freaking slip up. I think a fight between me and Canelo will look like when, who was it? What was this? What was the guy's name? Hurricane Carter, and he fought the other guy that really invented the Philly shell.
I don't remember his name, but I know the fight you're talking about.
It was like one of the most skilled fights. Tit for tat. I think me and Canelo will look like that, or something like Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns. Yeah, I'm talking just like a skill for skill fight. Probably not too many clinches, not too much on the ropes. I'm talking like real skillful counterpunching and movement. And you're not going to have a crowd there to sway what's going each way. So it's going to be on both of us to have to be accountable, to be on top of everything we do and sharp. I think it's just going to be a masterful fight. I think it's going to be a masterful fight. And of course, I see myself winning.
Of course. Yeah. You said you're 33 now. I think to me, 33, you're right in the middle of your prime. I think 28 to 34 is right in there. That's where you want to be. Right. You said that like it was a negative thing, though.
Well, I'm settling into a point to where I'm a little, I don't want to say I'm more brave, but I'm okay with getting hit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with being in the pocket and not necessarily getting hit, but I'm okay with being in the pocket and riding a shot rather than just make a guy miss. You know what I mean? There was a point to where I didn't want you to touch me. But in order to get some, you're gonna have to stand there a little bit longer and roll with some to get some of yours. So, and I'm like enjoying doing that. So I think that's why it would make for a skillful fight. It'll almost be like the Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard fight, the second one, when Tommy had slowed down just enough and Sugar Ray Leonard had slowed down just enough to where it was real skillful, but it wasn't too much bouncing and moving. Like they were standing there and going toe to toe. Leonard got dropped twice, you know. So you like when you watch that fight, both of those fighters have slowed down and seasoned just enough to make it a fan-friendly and skillful fight. And I think that's what it's going to be between me and Canelo.
I completely agree, and I'm
Because
sold. Sorry?
I was about to say, even though Canelo's 30, he still has about 56 fights.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of fights on him. I'm 33, but only have 27 fights. So I think this is like, I don't know. You could call this fight the Big Bang. I think this is what happens when light came out of darkness, you know what I mean? And the infinite intelligence of the universe has created everything. That's what we should call this fight, the Big Bang.
I'll promote that. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna push that fight. I'm gonna get behind it for you as well. If you have any final thoughts for your fans or anybody else you want to call out, let me know. Go ahead right now.
I just want to thank Split T, man, and I just hope everybody. I don't want to call anyone out, you know what I mean? Because like, I want to speak into existence that we will get the Canelo fight. It's already signed. I'm gonna speak that into existence. That way, when I come back on your show, you'll be like, "Yo, we said that, didn't we?" So I'm gonna speak into existence that is already signed, and that's what I'm praying for, because I think that's what I deserve. That's what I've been waiting for 4 years. It's been 4 years in the making since they, entertained this. And I just hope everyone's safe and happy during this whole tail end of COVID. And I hope everyone's being safe out there with the, with everything that's going on with Black Lives Matters and everything. So, all love from me.
Okay. Well, thank you, Willie, for your time, man. And we're gonna get that the word out there for that fight for you as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Oh, all right, man. I'll let you know when this video is available. Okay.
All right.
All right. Take care, man.
Peace.